Oh, hey, it's our weapons villager. How are you doing? Oh, that's good. I'm glad you like your new workplace. Hey, I've been working on a few jokes, a couple impressions. Would you like to hear them? Cool, cool, cool. Okay, let's see. You're a weaponsmith. You'll probably appreciate this one. Okay, you ready? What? You call that a knife? That's not a knife. This is a knife. What? It's from that movie in the 80s. The one from Australia? Crocodile Dundee, Paul Hogan? This ain't a knife, this... Not your cup of tea, huh? Okay. How about something... How about something a little more recent? Okay. Let me get this right. Yes, this is a beautiful blade, but is it sharp? Will it cut? Ah. Ah. It will kill. Nothing? Haven't you ever seen Forged in Fire? Not impressed. Whew. I get no respect around here. Oh, okay, that one's no good. Whew. Tough crowd. Hello, my fellow noobsters, it's me, Texas PK, and welcome back to another episode of NoobCraft. Today, I'm back here in the butcher shop taking a look at where we left off. Basically, if you remember, we had this thing working really great, but the chicken just wasn't working, and so I was going to go in and figure out what was going on. And if you look, we have it all figured out. We now have 6 stacks plus of cooked chicken come through in just a couple hours worth of time that I spent here. But I wanted to show you what happened, what was going on. If we go over here back to our chicken coop, where our chicken cooker was, I came over to check it out and see what was happening. And as I was coming and looking here in the hatch to see, yep, there were some chickens, I heard possibly the most sickening noise that any Minecraft player ever hears. Yep, the sizzle of a creeper right behind me. Before I had time to react, it exploded. It took out half the chicken coop, the well right here, most of it got blown up. There's a big crater in the ground. Chickens were flying everywhere. It was a mess. So I was able to come back and just fix it all, clean it up, rebuild it, and figure out what the problem was initially. It was just a water stream wasn't placed right. Once I got it fixed, all the chicken started flowing perfectly, and we're really doing well. We have over 6 stacks of cooked chicken automatically cooking for us all the way through. But today we're going to be continuing with our build in the city, coming through here and putting in some buildings. But when I got here, see, here's the problem. This right here has been a giant hole of lava. I've been nervous the whole time. Every time I come over here, I'm always worried that I'm not going to be paying attention and I'll fall into the lava. Lava's the bane of my existence. I hate going into the nether because of lava. I've gotten more comfortable with it, a little more used to being able to handle it. I always carry a water bucket with me in the overworld no matter where I'm going, just in case you run into lava. It's saved me more than once. But I thought, you know what? What do we use lava for? I didn't want to just pour water on it, turn it into obsidian, and get rid of it. Why not put it to use? So I thought, why not build a smelter? So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to be building a nice smelter and also a place to house some of our workers as well. This area behind me right here, kind of a circle shape, I've started laying out the foundation for. This is where we're going to put our furnace arrays. Nothing too huge, just 8 furnaces. And then over here on the side, we're going to put in where we put our just some storage, and maybe put our fuel in as well for the furnace there. And then our work areas for our villagers are going to be back over here. I'm probably going to put a couple armorers, a weaponsmith, and a couple toolsmiths. I don't know, we'll see how many we need. Just make sure that we get at least one of every type of diamond tool and weapon available, as well as the armor. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started working on this. I'll do it in the form of a time lapse, and once that's done, we'll come back and we'll put in the furnace array together so we can see how that works. Alright, I'll see you in just a minute once it's all done. Alright, the build is done. I think it looks really nice. I put a few little extra finishing details after the time lapse, a little stone variation, that sort of thing. But let me go ahead and show you instead of tell you. Alright, as we come in here, you can see I made sure I had plenty of lights. I'm not going to have any creepers or other hostile mobs spawning in this area. I want to be able to have my villagers who are going to be working here, the weaponsmith, the toolsmith, and the armorer, to be perfectly safe. That's also why I put in some fences and fence gates, just to keep them safe when I move them in. I'll probably move them in here after the end of this episode, just so that they'll be in the city and ready to go, so I can use them. Get them all bred up, cured, and all that kind of good stuff. Now over here you can see is our main foundry for this build. I think it looks really grand. I added in some campfires to give a smoke effect, just to give a little life to the build. I think it makes a nice little added detail to it. I'm going to put some more in here as well once all the furnaces are in place, just to kind of make it look like it's really the royal foundry, making it something kind of grand. Over here is going to be the storage area. You can see I already brought over some of the lava buckets ready to go. I have a lot more lava. I didn't feel like making any more buckets. But this is going to be the loading and unloading area for the fuel and the raw materials. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at how that's going to work. We're going to put in basically a powered rail here and here, and then put one there just to kind of make it turn the corner. You can't use powered rail to turn corners, and they'll do this. Oh, you always have to be careful with that. So let me go ahead and get rid of this one to start. If you don't put them in the right order, you end up with a lot of problems. So let's go ahead and do that. That fixed it. Okay. Then I'm going to come in and put in a block right there. You'll see why I'm going to put a switch on the other side to power those rails. But let's go ahead and put our chests right there and right there. And you can see they open because the block above it is just some staircases, so it won't block it from opening. And same thing there, even though it looks like it's a solid block, those are staircases above it. I'm going to be using a hopper minecart, so I don't need to put any sort of hoppers underneath here. They'll just automatically work. And then I need to put a switch here and here, so the lever will turn that on. And you can see, there it is. And there we go. So they're good to go. But I think I'm going to turn them off for now. Just because once I put them in, I want to be able to fully load it up. I thought about putting in a automated system to detect when the carts are full, but I just felt with this amount of space I had here, a manual system will be fine. I'm just running 8 furnaces, so it's not going to be the end of the world. Alright, so if we come over here, I've been going back and forth. I think I want to add some extra chests here and here just to give a little extra storage. I wasn't really sure, but I finally decided that's what I wanted to do. So if I want to do that, though, I need to have a hopper that's going to feed into this on this side and this side. So let me get that out, and we'll crouch place that into that chest and into that one, and then we'll come back in and add in our storage chests right there, there, and here and here. These are going to be the primary chests for the output of our furnace array, so they'll be easy to get to as we come in. I'm really going more for looks on this than full automation. I really just kind of think sometimes there's a nice balance that you can have, and sometimes being the most efficient or the most overpowered isn't necessarily the best thing. Sometimes making it look good is a good enough goal on its own. Alright, so now that I've got all these hoppers, and whoops, I was going to say, I got them all in place. I think that fell into the other hopper. Let me grab it here in a second. Alright, now that we have all the hoppers in place, the next thing we want to do is put in our furnaces. Let me grab that extra hopper that fell in. And I'm going to put 4 on each side, just like this. Turn in the corner. There we go. And then come in from behind, and the back is going to have the fuel fed into each furnace. Alright, and then come over here and do the same thing. Crouch place hoppers into each one. And then we'll run the rails across the back. And I think I'll put 2 powered rails on the end, and then we'll come in and put our hoppers this way here. Having to crouch place those. And then do the same thing I did on the, well, can't get up there. Here we go. And again, putting 2 powered rails here. I just want to make sure they have enough. Oh man, I did it again. I need to be careful about that. Both of those went into the furnace. I don't think that one can go into the other. So now I gotta climb up over it real quick. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so in order to force this to go straight, what we have to do is kind of come in here and put another rail just temporarily. Like that. And then I'm going to whoop. Okay. There we go. It's a case of find the missing hopper. Alright, so let's do it this way. This way I can force it to work. And then I can take this one out. It's a little bit of finagling to make it work, but there we go. Now I'm also going to just put the lever right there, and it should power. Yep, it powers both of them. That's great. Do I have what I need? I need to make a lever real quick. So let's see. If I go and make some sticks, I can now make a lever. I need to put one here on the back. A little bit more gymnastics than I really had planned on doing here today, but sometimes that's what you gotta do. Alright, and if I place the lever right here, when I flick it, it should turn on both. There we go. Now I just have to get back my piece of cobblestone, deep slate, and there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now it's just a matter of coming in and putting in all of our resources that we want to smelt and get it going. So let me go ahead. Oh, I just love the rain. It rains on this world all the time. Now it's just a matter of me going and loading up with the hopper minecart and getting a whole bunch of raw resources. Let me go ahead and go to sleep, make the rain go away, and I'll come back and finish it off with a clear sunny day. Alright, one last little detail before we go ahead and put in our smelting materials is I wanted to put in some campfires in the back just to make it give a little ambiance to the smelter. Oh yeah, that looks really good. I think once these all fire up, it's going to make it look just kind of cool. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's see, I need to put in our hopper minecart. Now, like I said, you could put in like a really advanced automatic system, but this is not a super giant one, so I think just manually running this is going to be fine. A little tip, you want to make sure that you have this fully loaded up on both the fuel supply and the raw material. Otherwise, it won't have enough materials to make it all the way to the end of the line, and so you'll end up only getting the first part of these running at any given time. So you need to make sure that you have at least the first slot or two of that minecart loaded up with stuff to smelt and to fuel our furnace. So let me go ahead and we'll pull in our lava buckets and put those into this chest up here. That should be good to start with. Okay, and I can go ahead and have that one running through. And then I think I have a whole bunch of iron over here. We're going to get as much of that turned into ingots as well. So let's do that, turn it into just regular raw iron. Alright. Whoop, I meant to go into that. Let's load up some more. I want to get as much of this loaded up as possible. Lava buckets are able to smelt an entire 100 items per lava bucket. So I want to make sure I waste as little bit of that lava as possible. Alright, so I have this whole double chest plus the hopper minecart loaded up with more raw iron than I can imagine. I think that adds up to a total of 59 stacks of raw iron, which is well over 3,000 pieces of iron. So I think we're ready to flip the switch and see this thing go. And here we go, they're just lighting up. As you can see, it doesn't quite reach the end of the line of the furnaces. I was afraid that might happen. That's kind of one of the problems with lava buckets. In order to make sure you reach the end of the line, you need to have enough to fill up the entire, not only the entire row of furnaces, but every single one of the hoppers that feed into it. So really, to be honest, I'm going to have to manually load these because I don't have 40 lava buckets to make sure I load up everything you need in order to force it to fill up the last one as well. If I was using something like coal or even scaffolding as a fuel, it wouldn't be an issue. But since it's lava buckets, it does present a little bit of a problem. So until I run out of the lava, I'll just load the fuel manually. And it's smelting away. Let's see how fast it's going. We're already up to 9. Ooh, and 20. So just in a few seconds, we've already gotten nearly half a stack of iron smelted up. And they're just going to keep going and going until they are just pouring out the iron. But I think that's it for this episode. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I did. A lot of the little details like the smoke and the furnace array and all that stuff just kind of made it a fun build. I know this may not be the biggest furnace array there is. I know I've made bigger, but it will get the job done, and I really like how it looks. And might as well put all that lava to good use. So in between episodes, I think I'll go around and gather up all the raw copper and iron I have stored all around in different locations, and I'll get that all smelted up. Also, I think I'll bring over all the villagers that are related to either weapons or tools or armor and put them in these locations so I can have them all set. Of course, I'm going to make sure they have the best trades available, zombie curing and all that stuff as well. But I think that's where we're going to call it a day. If you enjoyed yourself, make sure you do all those things you're supposed to do. And I hope to see you in the next one. But until next time, this is TexasPK. Be good to each other. Bye!